He seeks a normal life, yet his methods are anything but normal. He craves defeat, yet he is unbeatable. Behind the flat expression of an ordinary high school student hides the most perfect product of human engineering. We often see stories about characters who want to conquer the world, destroy their enemies, or become the strongest. But what if there was someone who had all the power to do so, yet whose goal was far stranger and far more profound? This is not a story about power. This is a story about an experiment. Let's dissect the experiment of Ayanokoji Kiyotaka, not to conquer the world, but to understand something he was never taught: what it means to be human. Every human is a product of the eternal battle between nature and nurture. But Ayanokoji Kiyotaka is not a product of that battle. He is the product of nurture's absolute victory. His story doesn't begin with laughter or the warmth of a family. It begins in a sterile, white hell, a secret facility known as the White Room. Here, children were not people. They were subjects. They were not educated. They were programmed. Emotion was a flaw, empathy a defect, and victory was the only truth. Ayanokoji was the only masterpiece to survive the process. He is living proof that a human being can be made. Yet, in the midst of his mechanical perfection, a small whisper of his hidden nature rebelled. His decision to escape and enter the advanced nurturing high school was his first true act of free will. As he stood at the school gates, looking at the normal world for the first time, he did not see it as a teenager. He saw it as a scientist entering a foreign laboratory, filled with unpredictable specimens, human beings. His flat expression, which we first see on the bus, is not an active mask he wears to hide something. It is his default state, his true face, the product of a program that erased emotion from his very foundation. And so, his experiment began. His first mission: to crack the code of the most abstract and illogical concept of all: friendship. Ayanokoji approaches social life not with feeling, but with calculation. He intentionally scores an average of 50 on all tests, a perfect statistical anomaly to blend in without drawing attention. He observes how people talk, how they form groups, how laughter works, and tries to mimic it. The uninhabited island exam became the stage for his masterpiece. On the surface, he seemed like a reluctant pawn helping Horikita. But behind the scenes, he was the puppeteer. He manipulated the class leaders, predicted every move from his opponents, and secured absolute victory in the most efficient way possible, all while maintaining his ordinary image. This is the perfect embodiment of Machiavellian philosophy and practice. The ends justify the means. He proves that in his school's brutal meritocracy, the most effective methods are not hard work or morality. They are manipulation, deception, and the use of human beings as pawns. Ironically, he is the star pupil of a system that unknowingly values victory above all else. A system not so different from the White Room he left behind. For a long time, Ayanokoji's flat expression could be mistaken for social awkwardness or a quiet nature. But on a rain-soaked rooftop facing Ryuan, the meaning of that face changed forever. After allowing himself and Kei to be intimidated to a certain point, Ayanokoji finally unmasked his disguise as an ordinary student. He coldly, efficiently, and with absolutely no emotion, neutralized Ryuan and his gang, displaying his absolute physical and mental superiority. This is the moment where his blank face transforms. What once seemed like indifference is now revealed to be a terrifying void. The absence of expression while committing violence proves that for him, emotions like rage or fear do not exist. All his actions are the result of pure logical calculation, confirming his philosophy that violence and fear are not emotional experiences, but merely tools for control. After winning, after proving that the product of nurture, himself, could conquer any environment, a new, deeper question arises. A question about his nature. In rare moments of introspection, Ayanokoji begins to contemplate his father's ideology and the purpose of the White Room. He starts to ask himself, what is the true meaning of victory? He realizes that his goal is not to keep winning indefinitely. His true, ultimate hidden goal is to finally be defeated. His desire for defeat is a beautiful and tragic paradox. The most perfect human desires proof of imperfection. Why? Because a defeat would be the only proof that his father's masterpiece is not flawless. A defeat would be proof that there is something beyond the White Room's programming, perhaps natural genius, perhaps genuine emotion, perhaps the power of human bonds, that cannot be calculated or engineered. This reveals that his ultimate goal is not to live a normal life, but to find the limits of his own existence. To find out, after all the programming and education is stripped away, if there is a true self left inside the void. Ayanokoji's mission may never be complete, because its goal is not an answer, but the process itself. He is a ghost trying to learn what it feels like to be alive, a prisoner trying to understand the meaning of freedom. He may never be able to feel of true friendship or the pain of a broken heart. But in his cold and calculated journey, he inadvertently teaches us something about ourselves. If you like content like this, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Thank you.